After Yuta and Yuji put absolute bell to R on Sukuna, Megumi had already given up. This gave Sukuna the opening to chant off-screen and cut down Yuta and the rest. Of course, it's gonna be controversial, just like with Gojo. And now we have fans still wondering if it was a world-cutting slash or not. And today, I'm going to give my answer. Alright, so the debate is between if it's a world-cutting slash or simply just an amped dismantle. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, I think it's a world-cutting slash. I don't think it makes sense otherwise, and I'll try to explain my points in this video. The main argument for it not being a world-cutting slash but an amped or chanted dismantle is Sukuna's arms. We know that for Sukuna to use the world-cutting slash in the first place, he would need to perform the Enma-ten hand signs and point to direct the slash at the target. Sukuna made a binding vow that after the one time he used the world-cutting slash against Gojo, he would only be able to use it if he chants, performs the Enma-ten hand sign and points the direction of the slash. So he cannot break these conditions, else he would lose the technique, because if you break a binding vow with yourself, you would lose whatever you gained. Keep that in mind for now. But with Yuta, we only get to see Sukuna do the chant and point at Yuta, with the argument being that Sukuna had one of his arms cut off and Rika was holding the remaining two, so there is no way Sukuna would have done the hand signs. But the thing is, we literally see Sukuna free himself from Rika. How else would Sukuna be able to point? You think it's impossible for Sukuna to slash Rika up multiple times and just take his hands off her? I mean, that is literally what happened. Whenever we see Rika next, she's slashed up. So that's two Sukuna arms free, enough to perform the hand signs. And if you're still wondering why didn't we see it, it was only off screen for dramatic effect. Megumi bought Sukuna enough time to chant, and Sukuna can do the hand signs at the same time he's chanting. There is absolutely no way you believe Sukuna couldn't break free from Rika in that moment. So what happens is, Sukuna slashes Rika a couple of times, does the chants, hand signs, and points at Yuta. And we see Yuji and Rika get hit with multiple slashes, so it's only Yuta that gets hit with the world-cutting slash. Because it's only Yuta Sukuna pointed at. There is also the point that a regular dismantle wouldn't cut Yuta in half. If you think Sukuna can amp his dismantles to the point of it being a regular full power Sukuna dismantle, a full power Sukuna dismantle isn't cutting through Yuta like that. I mean, take Ryu for example. Sukuna himself stated that regular dismantles wouldn't work on Ryu, he needs to cleave him. And then he goes on to compare Yuta to that very same durability. Sukuna says, it's not just because of my fight with Gojo. So he's basically saying, whether he was at full power or not, regular dismantles aren't going to be fatal. Another point is, if Sukuna can just chant up his dismantles to empower them, why doesn't he ever do it again? He surely needed them when he was running low on output against Yuji, but he doesn't do it. If all he has to do is chant to increase the output of his regular dismantles, he would have been doing that thing all the time. He has two mouths. So why doesn't he just chant up his dismantles? It's because that doesn't exist. It's a myth. In fact, it's a binding vow. Like I said earlier in the video, you can't break a binding vow. If Sukuna used a chant that is tied to his world-cutting dismantles for something else, he would lose the world-cutting dismantle. Even from a story perspective, the freaking narrator says that Sukuna is going to use a world-cutting dismantle against Yuta. He calls it a desperate gamble. And when Yuta gets cut in half, the sugar dude, I think Amai, says that it's just like with Gojo. And Yuta ends up switching to Gojo's body, the same guy that got split in half as well, with the same world-cutting slash. Yuta being Jujutsu High's number 2 behind Gojo, Yuta being compared to Gojo at various points in the series. It just makes sense that they were both hit with the same attack. And as for why Yuta was still alive meanwhile Gojo just died like that, well, 3 things. He was immediately rushed to a hospital, his Shikigami held him together, and RCT. But even with all that, he was still dying. He was going to die if he didn't hop body, so I believe this is more than enough proof and evidence that it was indeed a word-cutting slash that hit Yuta in his domain, and not some chanted dismantle. But tell me what you think in the comments. Do you think it's a word-cutting slash? Was I able to convince you that it is? Or do you still think it's a chanted dismantle? Oh, Gege just had to off-screen the moment. That's been all from me. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out, really helps push the video and all that. And I hope I see you next time. Peace.